Hi, this is Bagofsoup. This is my first video on YouTube, and I'm testing out a few different ways to do it, so give me some patience as I figure that out. I'm running a low gold hanger in War Robots, and this is what I'm going to run right now. And the whole idea is to balance your hanger as good as possible. So light robots can be a little higher with their guns, medium a little bit lower, and then the heavy bots the lowest. And so this is what I've got. I'm trying to balance some plasma, Galahad to start with beacons, and if I run into any armor or shield bots, it'd be good to have some close range rockets and splash weapons. And I'm also trying to run two mid-range bots, one RDB Griffin with Tulumbus and CRV pins, and the new Fury I got with Tridents and a Zeus until I get my third Trident, or if I like that Zeus better in the middle there. And so we're going to go ahead and start a match and see how it goes here. When playing solo, I usually like to use more faster upfront bots for beacon running and damage and kills. And I try to use more mid-range or long-range bots in clan battles. But I'm going to run two mid-range ones just in case I face a few other mid-range out there. So we're dropping into power plant. And if the screen looks a little jumpy, it's because I have it up on Apple TV. I check the other side first to see what they're running. And on a map like this, I tend to start with rockets. On a close range map, I like to start with speed and capture beacons as soon as we can, just to get the beacon bar going and get an advantage over the red team. And I also try to stay with other bots in gold tier. In lower tiers, it's easy enough to run by yourself, but you need support when you're running at gold tier. And not to mention that the enemy usually targets the closest bot near them, so I try to stay with another bot in front of me so they can take the brunt of damage and I can get some more hits in. I'm avoiding that carnage right now since I can't really penetrate their shields super great with my rockets, but I'm watching around the corner to see who's going to be there also. Always good to corner peek and see who you're going to run into. That Fujin has a shield too, but he didn't expect me, so I got a little damage into him before he saw me. He's got plasma, so I'm not too worried about taking damage from him at first. So we're going to wear down his shield a little bit. They're already getting some beacons, so we're going to need to push a little harder here to their middle one. Just going to wear down that Fujin. And now I'm watching for that plasma Galahad coming up. I don't want to waste my shield, so corner shooting is always good to do to save that shield as long as possible. Let's see if I can use that corner to my advantage here. He might try to partner up with that Fujin that was there. I don't see it right now. Okay. So watch out for that Carnage Thunder. That Galahad's pushing into me, which is not good for him since he's running plasma and my shield can block it. So let's go ahead and finish him off. And my teammate there is capping that other beacon, so we're even on beacons. That Lancelot's a long ranger, so we got to watch out for him. And this plasma Griffin, I want to just avoid his first, oh wow, first salvo there before I hit back into him. It's good to hit someone on the end of a jump. So right after they've jumped, you can get some good damage into them. All right, so we're dealing with two mid-range. We're dealing with a Lance, Zeus, Tulumbus. So I'm going to try and stay behind shield as good as I could, but he could shoot over it. I'm going to stick to my shielded bots for now. Although I'm maybe thinking about using rockets on that Lancelot up there, but for now we're going to go ahead and press towards some of these other guys on the left. We've got the beacon advantage, so we're fine there. And they're low on robots, 6 versus 4, so 6-5. Okay, we got a Rhino coming up. Okay, we got a Stalker here. We want to check and see what he's running. But I got a teammate with me, so that always helps. They're starting to recap some beacons, so we need to be careful. I don't worry about checking around corners as much as normal with when I'm running with other guys next to me, since the enemy's usually targeting them, and I'm not worried about getting hit by a salvo. Here's a Carnage Trident that we can try to take from an angle while he's focused on my teammate. His shield does nothing against plasma, so that's a help for me. I'm going to let these guys recapture that beacon since I don't have a jumping bot. Let's make sure he goes for it, okay? Now, I don't want to go over here alone, but if I'm facing a plasma griffin, then I'll be okay there. But I'm not sure what else is around the corner. Okay, that's not good. I'm going to start running right now. I don't need to have my shield up because that guy's just got rockets only. But that plasma griffin, I'm going to switch targets to him. And he's out of the way, so we'll switch back to the Gareth. My shield can be up while running since he can't hit me with plasma. I need to be about 200 to 300 away to avoid his rockets hitting me. Plasma Griffin will target again when he comes around. This game is very much like paper, rock, scissors. So you want to know whether you're using plasma or rockets and what they're running and get the best selection for the battle. Okay. Watch out for this rocket Gareth. Let my teammates with rocket splash take him out, and I can go back to work on this Griffin while his back is turned. He's using the cover, so I'm going to get a little back ahead of his cover and block with shields. Also, in between battles, make sure to clear out your guns. Here's another plasma Griffin with aphids. The plasma I'm not worried about, but the aphid I just have to be careful for. Always check around corners in gold tier to see who you're facing. This guy seems to be just running. Oh, let's hit this guy while his shield is turned sideways. I think that's a Fury to my left, so we'll stay out of his way for the moment until I can get a better shot on him. Okay, let's see what we're dealing with here. He's almost finished, so I'm going to go for him. Wait for him to shoot and then fire. Okay, I've got 2 Lancelots I need to back out of here. Not much I can do in this case, but just keep my shield up and keep away from the other Lance with Orkans. When you're dealing with bots like that, you want to keep at the fringes, at the 350 meter fringes with plasma, but sometimes you can't. So you got to do the best you can. So that was a pretty easy win. We took more beacons than they did, and I always like to check the match afterwards just to see what other guys are running, other good setups, or what level of bots and guns. So that guy had a pretty low level hanger, but the Griffin, 611 Griffin, was pushing him up higher. But he had some fast-moving Jeopards with rockets and aphids. That's helpful. And on the other team, they were down a man, and their top guy was running that Trident. So that was a pretty even match there, so we did pretty good. Alright, so that was the first test of the video. We'll see how it comes out.